Hi there, it's Marlena Burton, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Agie Sackey from the U.S. Virgin Islands. How are you today?
Good evening. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for a little bit of your time. We are doing a few little interviews about network marketing. And so, Aggie, how did you get started in networking? Were you introduced by a friend or someone that you didn't know?
Actually, it was an acquaintance who knew somebody, and he was invited, so he wanted to bring somebody, so he invited me. We really didn't know where we were going, and this is probably like 2 decades ago. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and when we got there and we actually listened to the session, we were like, let's leave because they wanted they wanted so much money for whatever it was. I said, no, I am not doing this. So we
Mm-hmm.
left disappointedly. But um, we decided, and this is, I'm going to share this, we decided we were going to change the playing field, and we started going back and hovering over these meetings and seminars at the different hotels, and we'd stand outside and wait for people to come out, and they'd be like, I'm not paying that money for that. Oh, that's a bunch of nonsense. So we're like, hey, did you enjoy it? No, not. I said, well, look, this is what we're doing, would you be interested in listening? So we were soliciting, okay? But we broke up. We ended up disbanding, and as time went on, I just started hanging with people who knew what they were doing and had more money.
Mm-hmm.
And so as time went on, back in 2013, when I started learning more about how money works,
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty much sold that it was time for me to do something outside of working for somebody else and fulfilling their dream.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either work for somebody and fulfill their dream or have your own. And I was
Right.
determined I was going to have my own.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wonderful.
I learned about how money works and, the difference between hourly and salary.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I was in the military and then I had gotten out. But then I found out about overtime and different things. But then even then you had to work like a dog just to
Right.
get that. And so after a while, I was like, no, I got to do something on my own
Mm-hmm.
that's going to protect me, for one thing, with taxes, because I was single, I didn't have any kids. And I mean, Uncle Sam, every year I owed, and I could
Mm-hmm.
not understand why.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized, yeah, it's time to get a home based business to save on taxes
Mm-hmm.
and, just to structure my money a whole lot differently. So I'm glad about that. I'm glad I went through that experience.
Right.
So just to let people know, you have to start somewhere. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to fall, but just get back up.
Right. So, how do
So,
you go about inviting people now?
well, for me, I'm down here in the Virgin Islands, so it was a little bit harder in the beginning here because the mindset sometimes, the money, people think you have to have a lot of money, and it's just finding the right people to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
in order to do that. And I'm kind of limited as far as being out, in the streets. So home base works for me where I can actually just reach out, do emails, texts, marketing systems,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just word of mouth pretty much. I talk to as many people as I can when I do meet them. If I feel that, you know, let me just share this with them and see what they say.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different, but the majority of the people that I do have working with me at this time are from the States.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to break out here in the islands.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to share and there's a lot we can do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Aggie. That gives us a great start for the interviews that we're going to be doing, and I really appreciate your time. And everybody stay tuned in because we're going to have some great interviews. We have a lot of information to share and why you should be your own boss, why you should consider a home-based business, and how you can invite people and different things like that. So thank you so much, Aggie.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Everyone have a great night.